The Yezdi Adventure arrived a couple of years ago, and while it was a capable adventure motorcycle, there were shortcomings that needed to be addressed. Come 2024, Yezdi has brought the updated Adventure to its lineup. It comes with a host of upgrades, and while it may not look very different, it gets a host of changes internally. How better is it than its predecessor, and can it really be your next adventure motorcycle? Hello and welcome to HT Auto. My name is Samir Contractor. We are riding the new Yezdi Adventure today. First launched in 2022, the Yezdi Adventure always felt like a half-baked motorcycle, not living up to its own potential. The 2024 iteration aims to change that. A messy motorcycle like this can only mean two things. A, I've fallen a lot, which is true, and B, I've had a lot of fun, which is also true. Because the new Adventure does get a lot of upgrades in terms of engine and mechanicals, which does make it a more enjoyable motorcycle. How? Well, the internals on the engine itself has changed, so it's still a 334cc liquid-cooled engine, but it now makes 0.5 bhp less than before. Torque output is very much the same. However, what it does with that engine and what the bike at large does with that motor is now a lot better. In the sense that the power delivery is more progressive, the torque output is more linear, so those things have changed for the better despite making slightly less power. Throttle response is improved, that's a very good thing. So you do feel the fueling going much better, and overall this is a nicer motorcycle to ride than I remember. What also helps is that the NVH levels are much better contained this time. So overall, I do feel that this is a far better packaged engine than the earlier version. The Adventure uses the new generation Alpha 2 engine. Internal updates include a new centrally mounted exhaust header for better thermal management. The coolant flow system has been optimized and borrowed from the new Java 350. While the heat is well contained this time, you do feel some of it around the foot pegs. Yezdi has also updated the crankshaft, while the clutch is now lighter and requires much less effort. The idling RPM has gone down from 1800 to 1300 RPM. The gearbox gets individual mapping for each gear. The first three gears have shorter ratios for quicker responsiveness, while the 4th, 5th and 6th gears have longer ratios, allowing the engine to stretch its legs. The bike feels torque friendly at low speeds, making it tractable in the 2nd and 3rd gear when navigating through off-road sections. The mid-range is strong, but the motor feels exhausted at triple-digit speeds. The other big update on the Yezdi Adventure is the suspension setup. It still gets a telescopic forks at the front, a 7-step preload adjustable monoshock at the rear, but the damping is now different and more progressive. What it translates into the real world is slightly more plush suspension in the city and when off-roading, so slightly more suspension travel. At higher speeds though, it firms up very well and just gives you a nice balance between more suspension travel on off-road conditions and good ride quality in the city and on the highway. So that balance is very nice and something that most people touring will really like. The ride quality is comfortable and the seat itself has decent cushioning on offer. Handling has improved dramatically with better weight distribution and a lower center of gravity. Braking performance is good and both the front and rear brakes offer decent bite at the lever. Now visually the Adventure is by and large the same bike. It still gets the round LED headlamp, it still gets a mesh on top. Overall, there's not much in terms of design changes. However, the rails have changed on the side. I think that's a big update, and that's for two things. A, these are much more lighter, more compact, and visually also it makes the bike look a lot less intimidating. The other thing is it handles now better because a lot of the side weights have gone away. In fact, this is now 4 kgs lighter and the bike itself is now 1 kg lighter. Do remember it gets a lot of other components as well, including that bash plate right below the engine. So overall the weight has gone down and visually too the bike looks a lot tightly packaged than before. And from the rider's point of view as well, it looks a lot more accommodating for all riders. The Adventure feels light on its feet this time with better weight balance, and the build quality has seen massive upgrades. The bike feels better put together with a lot more sturdy plastics, metals and paint quality. The switchgear quality is decent, while the grab rails, side panels and other components have a long-lasting feel. Yezdi has continued using the same digital instrument console from the older version that was feature-laden. It continues to offer good readability with features like Bluetooth connectivity, tilt adjustment, turn-by-turn navigation and more.
It's nice to see a brand take a lot of feedback from customers and then incorporate it into the motorcycle. We saw that with the Java 350 within the Java Yezdi family, and now the Adventure gets similar updates. That's a very nice thing. So this time the Adventure has something that it didn't have before, an opportunity to create a niche for itself. The Himalayan and the KTM 390 are a lot more expensive and in a segment of their own. The KTM 250 Adventure is there, but this gets the option to be a hardcore off-road friendly motorcycle and a splendid tourer, and I do think this time it has a lot of those qualities in the new and improved Avatar. And at that price point, it is now much more easier to recommend to people who are looking for an all-rounder that can be a tourer, off-roader and then more. We've had quite the fun day with the new Yezdi Adventure. Tell us what you think about it and which ADV would you choose. Let us know in the comment section below. And for everything automotive, make sure to subscribe to HT Auto. And as we always say, helmets on the two-wheeler, seatbelts in the car. My name is Samir Contractor. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.